My name is Sigrid Plajer. I am first and foremost the pastor's wife here. I have grown into the job as communications coordinator here, and I'm in charge of everything media, technology, print related. So that's my main job. The way I see it is a supportive role to the pastor, who is my husband.
And you are the mother of a trans son, correct?
Yes, I am the mother of a trans son.
So how long have you and Dietmar been together, been married?
32 years? Yes, we've been married 32 years.
And where did the two of you meet?
Oh, we met in church youth group when we were 14, so a long time ago.
And where did you grow up?
We both grew up in Transylvania, Romania.
What brought you to Selinsgrove, Pennsylvania?
So from Transylvania, Romania, because we belonged to a German minority, German Lutheran minority, we moved to Germany, became German citizens in the early 1990s, and continued our studies for becoming a minister in the Lutheran church at that time. And there was an exchange program with the United Church of Christ, and my husband wanted very much to participate in that. And so as young parents of children who were at that point 2 and 4, we came to Virginia, to a church, the UCC church in Virginia, to be there for 1 year and experience life as a church in the United States. That then developed into that minister retiring, and they eventually calling my husband as their permanent pastor. So we moved to Virginia in 1992, I think. And then after a few years, in 2007, we moved to Selinsgrove, which was a very, very good move.
And you've been here ever since?
We've been here ever since, yes. A wonderful church.
At what point do you remember the church starting to talk about whether to be an open and affirming church?
That was 10-ish years ago, way before it became anything that I felt would ever relate to my own life. One thing that is important to note is even though the church has not had this formal stamp put on it, open and affirming, there have always been gay and lesbian members in the church, and they were always loved and accepted. Yet it was still important to put this official open and affirming credential, I don't know what's the right word for that, to make it really obvious to everybody. It's not enough to just say, oh, we love all, and yes, everybody can come. It is important to make it more official, as with a rainbow flag, and so it's easily, there are websites where you can look up churches who are friendly, so people who look for a church can easily find where they will be loved and welcomed, and not just loved and welcomed to then be asked to change, but loved and welcomed to be exactly as they are and to be accepted.
So talk to me about, you were saying that long before you knew you would have any family members or your son come out, why was it important to you before that to be welcoming or accepting?
Because I think it is our calling to love everyone just as they are. Everybody has a right to be fully themselves. And I am really not an activist person at heart, but I could never see why anybody needs to be excluded or changed or twisted into something they really aren't.
So this decision then to be open and affirming at the church here, has that ever faced any sort of pushback from the community at large?
The only kind of funny pushback that has happened in the last year, our rainbow flag has been stolen twice. Oh, I mean, I have no idea. It might have just been silly kids thinking they were playing a prank, but that's community-wise, that's the only pushback that I've. Because I had to reorder it, so that's how.
The chairs have never been vandalized, or
No.
Church has never been vandalized.
I am an anxious person. I was worried about that, but no, they were left untouched the whole time.
You've never had picketers or protesters or anything like
No.
that? Okay.
Only in my dream, in my nightmares.
Talk to me about. I mean, you heard Shannon talking about
Yes.
What it's like to be a mother of a trans individual. Did you go through some of the similar emotions when your son came out?
Yes, and our son's coming out was a sort of a gradual thing. I still remember he had long hair. I mean, for years we battled with long hairs lying around the house everywhere. And then one day I got a text that said, I did something today. I did a thing today. And there he was, chopped off all his hair, and he looked really, really like a boy. And oh my God, that felt like a gut punch in a way, not because I had anything against him being a boy, but I felt the change was coming, even though at that point he had not come out yet. And then a few months later, he came out fully. And there was never even a second of hesitation for accepting him exactly as he wanted to be, and he was. And our love has never changed yet at the same time, which is amazing still to me, how two things can coexist. I went through a time, and still probably am, of grief. I lost my girl. So, but at the same time, none of this is about me. It is all about the child and helping them become who they are. So we were fully on board.
What would you say to a parent out there whose child came out to them and they're not as accepting as maybe you are, as Shannon was?
Seek out the help of PFLAG. If that is probably, if you want to lose weight, you go to Weight Watchers and help them set your mind straight. There is help out there, and we sometimes can't see a way. I know PFLAG, even though I didn't participate very often, we went once with my husband to present our story. And even though I didn't go for support, it was so very helpful, that meeting where I got to meet adult men who had transitioned, and it just, there is something to meet real people, not just see things on TV, and to just meet people who have been there, and there's a safe place to ask questions. Above all, love your child.